Friends, hello and welcome back. Hopefully everyone is having a lovely day. Connor Bedard. There was a lot of talk about this young man before this year, really a year ago. I mean, this guy was 2 years out of being drafted, and we was already hearing the rumors and the swirls of this guy being the next generational talent, the next McDavid, the next Crosby. And the spotlight has been on this guy ever since. And he continues to just play better and better. The World Junior Championships, this guy is just putting on a show. It has been impressive to watch this young man play. Currently 8th all-time in points in the World Junior Championships. And there's still time to play. Canada's all-time scorer as far as the World Junior Under 20 goes. And again, there's still time to play. And that's the overtime winner for this guy the other night. The way this guy's playing is incredible. And I think it was a little early, but when you start to get to even bigger competition like the World Juniors, and you start to watch this guy run circles around players, you really do feel pretty confident about this guy being a top 5 player in the league, top 3 player in the league, possibly top 5 his first year. A little far-fetched, a lot to learn. We're going to call this guy a top 5 player in the league. Maybe it's not this year. Maybe it's next year, though. And for that reason, we're going to rate him that way. We're going to slap him on the Chicago Blackhawks. And obviously, I don't think... I tell you what. If Chicago ends up being a top 5 worst team in the league, and Montreal is not in the top 5, I would be putting... I'd put that... I'd put the rent. I'd put the entire... I'd put the whole car on it. That I would bet the Chicago Blackhawks would win the draft lottery. You look at the other teams in there, San Jose, Arizona, Anaheim, Columbus. I mean, they're not big enough markets. And we can call it a conspiracy, but you really think the NHL is going to let this guy go to a small market team? I'd put all sorts of money on it. But hey, a man can dream. I just want to let you know, NHL, that he would really, I heard really one of his favorite teams. If you look at the color, I bet he doesn't even want to change color schemes. I mean, you got the Regina Pats blue and red. It'd probably be easy for him to transition. He'd really feel comfortable if he would transition into the NHL. And you didn't really have to like change up the jersey color scheme and stuff. He just kind of had something similar going to the NHL. I feel like that'd really help this guy's confidence, really help grow the league, bring in more fans. Yeah, a bunch of good stuff. And what I'm getting at here is I think really the only team I can think of that's got a similar color scheme that's going to be in the lottery is, I guess, Columbus. So, I mean, if you wanted to rig the lottery in favor, so I feel like that would be really beneficial for him. I mean, we're just looking up this young man's career at this point. No inner bias here of wanting to play for the Blue Jackets or anything like that. Just looking out for the guy. Anyway, nonetheless, speed. Let's see here. I mean, we're not calling this guy McDavid speed, but I mean, you got to have some speed. You got to be able to move around out there. We have about a 93. Body checking, you don't do a lot of that as a younger man. We're going to give him about a 78. Endurance, I mean, this guy, again, younger, he's going to get better. We'll give him about an 80. Let's give him about an 88. Puck control. Oh, he controlled the puck. This guy can control. We're going to give him about a 94. Pretty elite puck control abilities. His passing through the roof. We're going to give him about a 95. Shoot pass by. We're going to say about 0. Let's do something. I don't really think it affects anything. We're going to give him about an 8 out of 15. Slap shot power. He's got a great shot. This guy has an outstanding shot. For how young he is. We're going to give him about a 92 by 90. Can we go that high? Yeah, we're going to go that high. I'm going to go 93 by 93. And then his wrist shot power, we're going to do about the same thing. We're going to give him about a 94. And we're going to give him about a 93. Again, we're projecting this guy a year or two down the road. Obviously, NHL ain't going to give him these ratings now. But, oh, and by the way, I guess we should mention, the reason we're creating Connor Bedard is because he's 17. You can't put a 17-year-old in the NHL. It won't let you do it. So we had to create him. We can't edit his current player in the game. His agility, I mean, he can move around like the best. I'm worrying about a 94. His strength, again, still a smaller guy. He really isn't. 5'10", 185. I mean, he's pretty decent sized. Bring him about an 84. His acceleration, again, he's got to be able to get up and down the ice pretty quickly, and he does. We're going to about a 93. His balance, we're gonna drop it around about let's go about an 89. His faceoffs, again, younger player, not going to be the best at faceoffs. We're going to about a 75. Durability, we're giving about a 78. Deking, oh man, does he have some silky miss? We're going to about an 89. Oh, we're going to about a 90. Yeah, we'll get him up there. His aggressiveness, let's get him about an 82. His poise, oh, he's got some poise. You see that game winner? See the way this guy's playing? Oh, we get about a 95. Yeah, 95 seems fair. Hand-eye, again, we're talking about this guy's ability to handle the puck. We're going to about a 93. Shot blocking, again, a defensive stat. He'll get better at it over time. We're going to about an 83, though, to start him out. His offensive awareness is going to be about through the roof. We're about a 97. His defensive awareness, again, he's working on. He's still a young player, but he really does play really exceptionally well on both ends of the ice. We're about an 88. His stick checking, I'll give about an 80. We'll give about an 86, 87. We said we want to give him top 5 rating though. I don't think this is good. We got to see what we can work on here. Passing's gonna be a 96. Puck control's gonna be a 95. We're gonna give him about a 90 endurance. Nah, I'll give him an 89. Slap shot power, we're gonna bump that up shot. Agility looks great. Strength looks great. Offensive awareness. I mean, the guy's just a step ahead of her, but we'll keep him 97. We'll move the defensive awareness up to a 90 or 89. A 92 seems fair. A 92, not next year, but the year after. That'd be ridiculous. You don't jump them overalls that quickly, but this, again, generational talent. We're going to be 92. I think he's going to be close to that 94, 95 in about 3 years. We're going to say right off the bat, can you take this guy while the Blackhawks still, well, they still have, Patrick Kane got 1 year left. We're going to say they keep the roster they got right now. They're going to add Connor Bedard. We're going to see if they can take this team that is, well, not playing the best of hockey, to say the very least right now. Dead last in the league. The Chicago Blackhawks really ready to set off a net tank bowl. You talk about a guy, though, that could really, you wonder how quickly you could see the change in Chicago. They still have some good core players. And you start thinking about a power play with potentially Kane and Bedard. Seth Jones at the point, right? Seth Jones still at the point over here? Yeah. You wonder if things start to play a little bit. The defense still, it's going to need work. But you wonder if you bring a spark like this guy to your team, if you really see Seth Jones jump back up into that top, really close to elite defenseman role there for the Blackhawks. A little, you bring these kind of leaders to a team and it elevates the play of everybody. And you wonder what that would do to a team like the Blackhawks. Again, Bedard's going to be first lining in here. I don't, excuse me, I don't know why Taze is playing wing. Does he not win draws in it? Nah, 92. Okay. See, I would probably do that too. If it was me, if I had a guy that was 92 in the draws and one is 75, yeah, I'd probably put the 75 in the dot. That makes sense. The question is, do you see Bedard and Kane play together? The Blackhawks are pretty well known for splitting up their two big dogs in Kane and Taze over the years. And you wonder if they would do the same with Bedard and Kane. We're going to let EA make the list here. We're going to go top line heavy. We'll see what they can do. Again, goaltender's Mrazek. Mrazek can really bounce back too. Yeah, he's got the abilities to do it. But Kane and Bedard in that first unit, can those guys carry this team to a Stanley Cup? There's going to be a whole lot of goal scoring action going on here if these two are playing together. I think you see them on a power play more than you do on the first line. We'll see. Blackhawks going to start 5-0 though. 7-1. The Connor Bedard effect is alive and in focus in Chicago. You start off 7-1. Can they keep that going though? We're seeing them kind of fall to pieces here. Second month of the season being 13-12. They might not even make. I mean, they have a lot to overcome. We just looked at this defense. You had an 86 overall and a bunch of 81s. You really got to fill in those gaps. You got to find some top 4 defensemen. You got to find some depth. There's a lot of holes here right now for the Blackhawks. But again, it wasn't that long ago where there was this dominant team, and you wonder, maybe you get some coaching change, or maybe you get, again, that resurgence, that sign of hope, that sign of life on the team again when you bring a guy like Bedard over here, or maybe it just elevates the play of everybody. Right now, current situation, not looking too hot, but again, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. This guy's got to be in your team for 20 years. You need a couple years to rebuild, put some players around him, you'd be all right, but Chicago's going to come short. They're going to come short of the playoffs. They're not even going to make playoffs the first year Connor Bedard's on his team, but he's going to drop 93 points, 30 goals, 63 assists. He might do better than that. That was a great season. But his goals might go higher than that. Patrick Kane dropped 43. They played elite hockey together. 43 by 45. It was just, again, they needed some depth after these two players. As far as Bedard goes in the entire league, did Bedard lead the league in points? I think they finally upped it. We talked about this last video. I think they finally, yeah, McKinnon had 114. They finally upped the scoring in NHL after a while. They're up to one of the previous updates. Gaudreau had 103 for my Blue Jackets. Oh, think about it, Bedard. You and Gaudreau. Just saying. Just saying. Ooh, we might not be playing a lot of defense over there. Oh, but the young men are coming. I know you don't get to choose where you play, but think about it. The young up-and-coming defenseman, you're going to get to play with Gaudreau, possibly Line. Whew. Think about it. Just give it a thought, NHL. Good for the sport. Nonetheless, Bedard, 93 points, 30 by 63, plus 18. Played some phenomenal hockey this season. He's not going to bring the Blackhawks to a Stanley Cup. He's not even going to bring them to playoffs in the first year. It's going to take a few more pieces for this team to really get going. That's going to wrap up this video, though, guys. As always, if you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate you consider liking the video, subscribing. You never have to. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.